Hello fellow movie and TV lovers, and welcome to another edition of ClapperCorns. On today's episode, I'll be talking about the latest horror film to come out, Smile. Now, after having seen this film, straight off the bat, I think the words that I would use for it would be unsettling, disturbing, creepy, and sometimes terrifying. Like, this film is a damn good horror film. Now, before we get into it, let me just give a little bit of synopsis about the film. It essentially follows this Dr. Rose Cotter, who, after a bizarre and traumatic experience with one of her patients killing herself, starts to experience these weird phenomenons as well, where she can see people smiling and just strange things happen within this film. That's all I can say. Weird entities, smiling people, it's creepy. Going into this film, I kind of expected it to be like, your standard horror things that fall along the lines of, the Annabelle, the Conjuring, things like that. But I was very pleasantly surprised because of the fact that, there are jump scares here and there, but at the same time, it messes with your head. Just like another film that I really love, Hereditary. For those of you who haven't watched Hereditary, please do yourself a favor and watch it. It's a great film and it terrifies the living daylights out of you. Watching this film will make you feel quite uncomfortable at times and quite unnerved as well. Like, that was the main experience that I was getting, and that of course is credit to the director. After the relative success of his film Laura Can't Sleep, Paramount Pictures then tapped onto Parker Finn and asked him to create, a long-form feature film version of that story. And I think what he's done and what he's communicated on the screen is fantastic in all the worst and best ways. The way him and his DOP, his director of photography, worked to create this sort of uncomfortable feeling within the empty spaces of the frames is just brilliant. Sound as well has been played incredibly smartly within this film. I would say about 60% of the film has absolutely zero music track, zero background music, absolutely nothing. And that's what amps up that uncomfortableness within you. It makes you feel like something is going to happen, but in actuality, absolutely nothing is going to happen, which is akin again to what they did with Hereditary, which is still why I feel that's one of the top horror films in my mind. Even before the opening credits rolled, you understood what kind of film this was, because Parker had set it up so well before that you understood that, okay, we are in for a really bumpy, insane, creepy, and horrific ride. Credit also has to go to the lead actress Sosie Bacon, daughter of Kevin Bacon, who plays Dr. Rose Cotter. The way that we see her descent into madness is incredible, and not a lot of actors can pull that off. We see the frustration, we see the horror, we see the tiredness. We are with her 100% of the way, and I think her alone is enough for the price of admission for this entire film. Having said all that though, I feel there is one downfall to this entire film, and that is to do with the pacing. There are times that I felt like it could have been picked up, or perhaps scenes could have been cut out. We understand what she's going through. We don't need to go through that many interviews or that many it's a flip and a switch moment. We don't need that. If the pacing was a lot quicker, I feel this movie would be a damn near perfect horror film. I think on a deeper level, this film also talks about, the fighting of your demons, the insecurities that we have. It's a huge metaphor for psychosis, and also to a certain extent, maybe a bit of bipolar or some sort of mental illness. But I feel that's great to tap into that, because that in itself makes the story even realer. Like, some of these things, not to a huge extent of entities, but at the same time, we battle these demons, some of us. So I feel that it's very relatable on that sort of level. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if there's anything that you take out of this film, is that a smile can be the most uncomfortable thing you ever witness. So do yourself a favor and catch Smile when it comes out this 29th of September all across Malaysian cinemas. It is definitely worth a watch, but if you can't handle horror, this is definitely one film I would not recommend to you. Horror fans, you might be pleasantly surprised, so go ahead and check it out. And last but not least, please make sure you follow us on all social medias. It's all on our screen at the moment. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Those are all our main platforms. Please make sure you follow us there. And also, I co-host a bi-monthly podcast with Karel M. Baha and Amelia Chen called Geeks in Malaysia. We talk about everything and anything to do with pop culture, video games, movies, TVs, everything you can think of. We talk about, and we create videos as well. So make sure you check out our YouTube channel at the same time. And of course, I also write for the media outlet Goggler, so you can check out my articles there. Thank you so much again for watching another episode of ClapperCorns. I am Nick Dorian, and as always, keep watching the movies.